with Mastiff Home Buyers, Lead with Abundance Coaching, and Intuitive Wealth Leaders. So I am here a little bit early this morning. I apologize for the surroundings, but maybe this is good. This is kind of part of my point this morning. And it is a little noisy because there's a road out here, and I apologize if the dogs bark and the neighbors are working on some stuff. So we will just do the best we can. So that's why I do these live, so I don't have to be formal. It really is just me talking to you from my heart, from my knowledge, just sharing and trying to encourage you to motivate yourself, manage yourself towards the success that you want. So uh, today, I want to talk about living. So I'm going to put a quote out there today by Oscar Wilde. And I can't remember off the top of my head exactly what it says, but it is like without living, there's nothing else in the world. And so personally, I want to talk about that for a minute. So we often get hung up in our day to day stuff, our day to day stresses, our day to day issues, our day to day life. And life is life. And I think that we should all strive for having a life that you love. And, that when you wake up in the morning, that you're happy to be there and that you're happy to do what you're going to do. And so if you're stuck in that job that you hate to go to, um, it just makes you stressed out to go. I think it's time to think about making a change. Um, if you wait for Friday and hope for Friday every single week, it's time to make a change. So, life, what is living? That's going to be different for all of you. Some people want to go on extravagant vacations and go do all sorts of things and be around a lot of people and go out to restaurants and interact with people and that's great. That's great, but is that exactly what living looks like to everyone? No. Some people may want a simple life. Some people may enjoy going out and herding their sheep on the farm. That is living for them. So you define your life by what's important to you and what's your passion and what it is that you love. And so for me, I'm just going to share a little bit. My love is one, these dogs. I love them. I love my dogs. I love my cat too. But he can't be out here with us. I love my animals and I really I live for them. Sometimes too much. Um, but that's who I am. I'm a caregiver. I'm a person who loves to give, and I love to help dogs. I love to help people, which is why I'm here. So find the thing that you love and do it. And so live your life in the way that you want to live it and make decisions that are going to help you move towards the life that you want. And that doesn't mean just being complacent and hoping that it comes to you someday, because maybe it will, but maybe it won't. You have to go make things happen. It's high time that we all get out of our seats and go do the things that we want to do or that we need to do in order to make our life what it is that we expect. So, been there many, many times. And sometimes you just have to step up. Sometimes you just have to offer somebody a little help. Sometimes you have to go do really scary things to make that happen. So, the life that you want isn't going to come without taking the right actions today. You have to go and take the right actions. And I saw another quote and it really resonated with me because I have to admit this is who I am and what I do. And I think it's something that everybody probably does. But the things that you're avoiding right now are the things that are going to help you get to your success, or they're going to create your success. So let's stop and think about that for a minute. So, what is one thing that you're avoiding right now? And maybe that thing is something that is going to project you into your future, what you want for your future. You think that could be the case? I do. Now, one of the things that I'm avoiding is my taxes. I have not filed those yet, but I think that is probably a normal thing that everybody avoids if you can, but don't avoid it for long. So I'm going to be pulling that stuff together this weekend for my accountant so that she can finish those up by the deadline. Yes, I got an extension, so by the deadline for my personal return. But other things are usually activities that scare us. And we talk about this a lot. The things that scare us are usually the things that we need to go do more of. One, because if you do them, it's going to get easier. You're going to learn that you're not going to die. What it is that you're afraid of really isn't going to kill you, and it's really not that bad. Now, does it totally take away the fear? No, it doesn't. Me speaking up in meetings was something that I had to learn, and it still is hard for me. So often I'm one of the last people to speak. So I will wait and I will ask for or listen to what everybody else is saying, and then I will speak. So, you know, that's an advantage for me because I want to hear and I want to interpret in my own way all the things that everybody's saying and then bring out my opinion. So, I can connect to those people who have already spoken. But, that is just me. I am not one to talk a lot in a meeting. I don't really like to do that. But usually, I will wait till the end. If I'm in a networking meeting, usually I'm one of the last ones to raise my hand. I'm thinking about what it is that I want to say, like the whole meeting, which is probably really distracting. So it's probably distracting to me because I'm actually focused on what it is that I want to say and not listening to the other people in the session. So that's really bad. So the better thing to do is write out what you're going to say and be the first one. So be the first one to raise your hand and interact, and you will then be able to just let it all go and you'll be good. No more stress for that meeting, and then you can listen. You can use what you have to listen to the other people and learn from them. So this is something that still is hard for me. But it comes to creating a habit to plan for each meeting, even if it's informal. And that's a habit. That's a habit to sit down 5 minutes before, your meeting and ultimately plan out what it is that you want to say, how you want to interact. If it's something that's set out so that you're supposed to interact in it. Write down your key points, write down your key thoughts, write down the things that you really want to emphasize. And sometimes when I wait, other people will bring those things up, and I think that's great. That validates me a little bit. However, I'm still focused on trying to ultimately avoid speaking and figuring out what it is that I'm going to say because I'm overthinking that. So overthinking is not going to get you to the life that you want. Believe me, it's not. So if you have a problem with overthinking, or you have a problem with planning, or having habits, creating habits that are going to help catapult you to success, reach out. I will help you figure out what the things are, those tiny little changes that you can make in your daily habits that can help you get from where you are today to where you want to be. Because, back to what we said in the beginning, we really want to live. We want to live this life because we only have one life to live. So it's important that we enjoy every day that we have because our time here is limited. We all know that. We all know our time is limited. And so it's important that we do the things that we enjoy and, and try new things and get out there and embrace new things that are going to help us learn new things, be a different person. Sometimes there are things that I didn't know that I liked because I'd never tried it. But if I'm willing to take that step, that's living. Having experiences is living. So for us, we made a hard decision. We made a hard decision that we were going to sell our house, buy an RV. We're actually tying it to our business, so we're going to be working from that RV, and we're going to be working on finding some mobile home parks to purchase that we can improve, rehab, bring back to life. So we're looking for some older ones. But the point was it was a weighed decision of, we really love this house. We love our neighbors. We love this area. We've not been here that long, but we still love it. And so, do we want to uproot? And is this the right decision? And so, we did make the decision because there's a lot of responsibility tied to a house, 2,400 square foot house on 4 acres. That we thought, well, if we let go of these things, then we might be able to focus our energy on these other things over here that are more important to us. The other thing is that having that 2,400 square foot house and 4 acres and chickens, which I love, I totally miss my chickens. I really, really do. But I'm trading that, and they're in a great home, and I know that, but I'm trading that for some experiences. So as we embark on our adventure out there to go do the things that we want to do as it relates to our business and investing, we're also opening ourselves up to experience. So we're going to be able to see things in different places. I haven't spent much time outside of Kansas and Missouri in my whole entire life. I'm 51 years old and I've not spent too much time. And the reason why was because I was so tied to the things that I was responsible for at home, whether it be kids or a job or whatever, the chickens. And part of it was the fear of traveling that I have because I'm an introvert and it just scares me to have to get on a plane. I'm not really afraid of planes. I just don't like the whole idea of traveling. I don't like trying to figure out what to put in the suitcase and where am I going to go and what's the weather going to be, and all of those choices and things that I have to think through. It's just exhausting to me. So I just chose not to do it. I mean, I just would I don't even want to go. I don't want to have to spend time packing any of that. So I just didn't go anywhere, and I spent money on other things, so then I couldn't afford it. And so then I had an excuse. I can't afford to go on vacation because I spent all my money on this 2,400 square foot house. I'm house poor, or I need to buy something for the chickens. They need a new coop, or the dogs need something, or the kids need something, or whatever. So the fact is that I set myself up to not have those experiences. And at some point, I realized that maybe those experiences were important to me. And maybe it is important that I have some experiences. And one of the things that is important to me, and I need to call my cousin Abigail because, she has been in tune with our culture, which is the Chickasaw Nation. My grandmother was a Chickasaw, and I have never really become very involved at all in the nation. And so that's something that I really want to do. So we're going to take the RV and we're going to go down there and we're going to spend some time in the Chickasaw Nation so I can learn some things about my culture and where my family came from, because I've never spent time doing that before. So to me, this is part of me beginning to live. And I'm not saying that I've had a bad life or that, things have been bad before, because I really enjoyed, the things that I did. I really enjoyed, driving Michaela all over the place for soccer tournaments and different things. I love being a mom, doing school things and all the things that were associated with that, all through school and college. I loved all of that. But so there were lots of things I loved about my life. I loved my job. I loved the experiences that I gained from my job, the leadership skills that I gained from being in the positions that I was in. I even loved the difficulties and the downsides, because the things that I learned the most from were the really hard things, really, really hard things. So if you're going through something hard, think about it as you're going to get to the other side and it's going to be okay. And it's going to be one hell of a learning experience for you, because that was my experience. So I loved all of that. But, there are other things that I really am interested in doing and learning about. I'm interested in seeing other things, being in other states, um, learning from other people who live in different areas. So, I talked to somebody yesterday, and I put this out on my Facebook post, from San Antonio, and I learned so much from him. And San Antonio is one place that I really aspire to go again. We've been a couple times actually, and I really like it down there. So I'd love to go there again. We're going to go to Arizona. We're going to spend some time, at least in March, because I have a real estate summit or event there in March. And so I'm excited that I get to go be in person at some of these events, because I spend a lot of time in events, but they're online. So I'm on one right now. Actually, I came out here. That's why, is because I'm on an event, and it's going on my laptop in the RV. So I came out here on my phone so that I could do this live. It's recorded though, so I won't miss too much. I can always go back. So live your life. Find the things that you want to do and start putting your path in place. Create your roadmap for how you're going to get there. So think of, what's that end in mind? I want to travel. Well, how are you going to get there? How are you going to build yourself up to the point that you're able to do what the things are that you want to do? Whether it's own a business, travel, have passive income, spend more time with your kids, help dogs, it's one of mine. Whether you want to start a nonprofit, or you want to, go travel across the United States, or, internationally, whatever it is, what are the things that you need to do to be able to do that? So, people talk about the bucket list. What's your bucket list? But having a list is worthless. It's worthless to have a bucket list, if you don't have a plan for how you're going to accomplish each of those things that are in the bucket. So I hope that that resonates with you, and that that I'm here to help you create and execute that plan for getting to those things on your bucket list. Now, I focus on business, so growing your business, but that doesn't mean that I can't help with other things, because I do believe that success is about a whole person. So your success comes with personal and professional success. So it's important that your personal self is invested in your professional self, and vice versa, in order for you to be whole person successful. That's probably something that you've not heard much before, but I love the idea. I come from mental health, and talk about whole person health. Well, there's whole person success. Because if you are unhappy in your personal life and everything sucks, but your business is great, that's still not a good place to be. So it's time to make a change. Change is hard. I talk about that all the time. Change is super hard, even the smallest little things. Changing what you eat every day, changing what time you get up in the morning. Super, super hard, but it's doable. So find those habits that you need to change so that you can get to where you want to go. And if you need help, let's talk. And I am going to sign off, because I need to get back to my protection planning Zoom meeting. And I will be back here next Saturday. I'm going to start a having some themes going, so we'll know what's coming out. I haven't done that in the past, but I'm excited about getting that. So I'm planning these, and we'll be able to offer you more information about what content is coming, what we're going to talk about, and all of those things. So I hope that this has motivated you to take an action. Number one action, evaluate your habits, figure out if they're getting you towards where you want to be. Because if they're not, it's time to make a change. I will see you all back here next Saturday, 10 a.m. As always,